Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Casually Fit podcast. My name is Rob. This is episode 47. It is Wednesday. We are in August. It is time to shine, baby. All right, you're losing weight. You got the holidays coming up. You're about to be around family. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your boyfriend's family, your girlfriend's family. And you're like, you know what? Instead of them poking fun at me this year, I'm going to lose weight. And maybe you've been doing that for this entire year. Maybe your New Year's resolution was this, and hopefully you're on your way to do that. But yeah, I released a video a couple weeks ago about that. If you want to check it out, I think this is a great time for people. If you're trying to cut off, 20-ish pounds, it's definitely reasonable to do that within the time from now and say Thanksgiving. So I think, maybe the first part of the year, we spent part of it in lockdown and there was no vaccine, then there is a vaccine, and we're going through this whole fluctuation, so we'll give you a pass. Everybody, we can all take a pass this past year and a half, right? Well, the pass is expiring, and if you found yourself just kind of chilling all year and hanging out at the beach, not worrying about your weight or anything like that, one, hey, you shouldn't be stressing about your weight too much. It shouldn't consume everything on your mind. But if you feel like you need to lose some weight, hey, maybe try losing weight. And if you're trying to lose weight before the holidays, just so maybe you can avoid an uncomfortable conversation, or maybe just because you want to really stuff your face in the holidays, whatever reason, who cares, right? I'm not judging. Then guess what? You got plenty of time to lose a little bit of weight before then. So this is a great time of year to be like, boom, hey, now I can try to do some things, right? Things are going to start to be different. Who knows, if we're going to do lockdowns or anything like that again. But as far as the weather goes, things are going to start cooling down. The leaves are going to start falling off trees, and you're going to want to be around some hot cocoa and a fireplace, right? Who has fireplaces anymore? Well, a lot of people. I get that. I live in San Diego. It's not too many fireplaces. Go talk to the 5,000 people living in one apartment building. Their fireplace is a Bic lighter in their hand. But either way, so, one thing I do want to start off by saying is I apologize for missing last week. I never want to miss a week, but I also never want to just force a podcast and come in here and do it when I'm really not feeling it, or if I really don't have anything planned. And sometimes that just happens in my life. I got a lot of things going on. This is, this is something that I'm doing on the side. I put in, 12 plus hours every day. So sometimes it doesn't always work out. And last week, it did not. So I apologize for anybody who waits to listen to this podcast. Again, I'm going to try to make those few and far between. But yeah, either way, this podcast today, I did prepare some things I want to talk to everybody about. I got some people I want to show you as well. Got the Fit Fighter, got a Fit Freak as well. Very prominent figure for the Fit Freak this week. I got those people to show you, and I just want to kind of breeze through some topics. I kind of want to get into the topic of doing surgery, and I'll get into that in a second. I will preface this, and I'm going to preface it again so everybody clearly knows this, is that one thing for podcasts, recording, sometimes it's good to be very well prepared. That's like what I do on my Monday videos. I like to be prepared and write some things and really hone in the message and go over it and all of that, right? I like to do that, and I like to come to the podcast with something similar. But sometimes I just want to kind of express my thoughts as everything's kind of going on in real time, and that's what I'm going to do about a couple of the topics today. But first, let's get some motivation going on. Let's get some inspiration. Let's bring up the spirits, okay? Because, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get into the gym, you're trying to knock that ice cream out of your hand, and things get tough, right? We're in August. If you've been doing this since January of this year or January of last year, or you've been doing it for a couple weeks or even a couple days, it's rough, right? It is tough times losing weight. And it can definitely seem like it is impossible to lose weight, especially when you're trying to, say, lose 110 pounds, like the person I'm going to show you in a second. If you got to lose 110 pounds, hey, you're only losing a couple pounds a week. That's not too many pounds a month. Things take, it takes effort and takes time, and that can wear on people. And if you don't think about, if you just don't think about the people that have done it, or if you don't think about your possibility of achieving your weight loss, then yeah, you can easily fall off your plan and you can easily just stop. And a lot of people do. So let's talk about Just Dream Page, at Just Dream Page on Instagram. She has lost 110 pounds naturally. She is 26 years old. She is from Texas, so she's got to lose weight in a state that loves barbecue, right? That's got its own difficulty right there. So again, it looks like she's been doing this since 2017, right? So it's 2021. It's about 4 years now, and 110 pounds. So again, if you're trying to lose weight, you got to lose about 110 pounds. Kind of look at this time frame that Paige is going through right now. Okay, 4 years, 110 pounds. I don't know if she lost all 110 pounds right away or what happened, but she's still on this journey. Now, if we check out her pictures, right? If you just we're just going to go through a few of these. You can just see her. Yeah, look at that. It looks like she has 3 of her friends. This first photo definitely seems it's for sure photoshopped, and it's 3 people. Looks like her and 2 of her friends. So it's great. They, in this, it says together these 3 people have lost about 400 pounds. And look at the transformation between these 3 people. I mean, that's amazing. All of them lost, 100 plus pounds each. And that's amazing. So that's great. Of course, you have the before and after picture. Again, she looks like she's a fitness model now, right? Okay. I mean, again, if you're trying to lose weight, look, you might look at some of these fitness models and, hey, maybe some people won't get there, right? But you can possibly get there, and you can possibly get pretty close. And again, I'm sure Paige, when she was in 2017, she was like, "Oh, this might not happen." But look at her now. She's in San Antonio, Texas, taking pictures, taking before and after pictures, and really killing it. All right. So it looks like she does. So yeah, you go through her Instagram. She says she did it naturally, but then I just saw she did surgery. Yeah, okay. Either way, I'm not going to talk smack about her or anything. And that's actually the next topic. But go check out Just Dream Page on Instagram. She lost 110 pounds naturally / surgery. But again, she's a wealth of information, wealth of knowledge. She has the experience, and she's putting herself out there online. So go hit her up, go follow her, go see what she's into, and see how she did it. Again, right? Take some tips from her. I'm sure she has plenty. So that is the Fit Fighter of the Week. Now let's get into a topic that'll probably piss people off, and I'm sorry. I'm more than likely going to say something that might irritate people. I don't know. It all comes from love, baby. All right, I'm not trying to do anything crazy, okay? But I do want to talk about weight loss and surgeries. Just briefly, okay? I'm coming into this. I didn't really prepare what I was going to say about it, and this might be a dumpster fire. I'm not sure. But it is something that is out there. Now, I would say that when I was in the Marine Corps and I was like full gung-ho and just full of fitness and just working out all the time and just around people, in Marine Corps, it's very it's very clear who's fit and who's not. And when you're in a group of mostly men who are always competing against each other, always ragging on each other, um, and a lot of things have to do with fitness, you can really get into a mindset to where uh, you I don't know, you just kind of dichotomize, fit and not fit. And so if I was to be honest with myself, and I would think back in the Marine Corps times, talking about surgery, people trying to lose weight, and they're going to go ahead and have a surgery. My initial thoughts back then would more than likely be along the lines of something like this. I would think, well, these people are just taking shortcuts. A surgery doesn't really that's not really, that's like putting a band-aid. Have you ever seen National Lampoons when when he's inside the dam and he's, Chevy Chase is messing around trying to find something, he gets lost inside the Hoover Dam, and all of a sudden he comes across a leaking hole, which I think the Hoover Dam just leaks like that, which is creepy. But he puts a piece of gum. He takes a gum, or he finds, or takes gum out of his pocket, chews some gum, and then puts the gum over the hole. Well, I would say back then, somebody's like, hey, I'm going to get this surgery to lose weight. I would be like, you're kind of putting a stick of gum on a hole that's holding back the Hoover Dam. I'd say it's probably not, it could stop the water flowing for a little bit, but it's more than likely not going to, do any good in the end. And that would be my initial thoughts from back when I was a youngin', right? When I was in my early 20s, just full of way too much testosterone and way too much confidence, okay? And the sad thing is that is a view that a lot of people have. And that's a point of view, right? That is a perspective, okay? And there are arguments for and against it. I would say, just thinking about it now as a 31-year-old man who has been very fit, very active, and then been very not fit and completely inactive, and then back again to being very fit, right? So I've gone through this, this kind of roller coaster since then. And I would say, look, the surgery is going to work, right? If a surgery is going to help you lose weight, right? And I haven't dove into, which this is going to be my next thing I have to dive into. I haven't dove into what the surgeries are and what they all include, okay? But as you can see, I think some of them shrink the stomachs possibly, and so that reduces your appetite and some other things. So that helps you lose weight. There's also, I believe they take out fat, and then they also sew you back up. So there's that as well. Look, for some people, if you got to lose a lot of weight and you're trying to, if you're trying to go into the gym now the way you are with a bunch of weight on you, it's hard. It's hard to get things going. It's hard to get your body going, and it could take you a very long time to just do some basic things, right? It could take a very long time. And then you have to worry about your bones and your tendons and everything else going under the stress of carrying around that weight. So I see that issue. And if you are going to get a weight loss surgery, then that's going to speed things up. That's going to, instead of taking the first 6 steps of trying to lose weight, you're going to basically skip to step 6, right? And then so hopefully you're able to get into the gym and you're not carrying around that much weight, so you can get moving a little bit better, and then you can continue to maintain that weight loss and more than likely tighten up your skin a little bit and gain a little bit more muscle. And for that, I would say that's good, right? I would say that is beneficial. The problem I see with getting a surgery is really a mindset, right? I would just be cautious of anybody getting the surgery to make sure that they have the right mindset going in. If you think that you're going to get the surgery and then all your problems are solved, and once you're on the other side of the surgery, you can more or less keep the same habits you're doing before, and you should stay at a lower weight, I would say that that would be false, right? The reason for excessive weight gain has a lot to do with genetics, right? I'm not discounting that, but it has a lot to do with genetics. Has a lot to do with the food you choose to eat and how much of that food you eat, and also not exercising and possibly what you do for work, how much you're sitting in a day. It's all about, kind of personal choice. And I'm a no free will kind of guy, but we do make choices, okay? And if you get the surgery, if you go into getting the surgery and you think to yourself that nothing's going to change, the only thing that's going to change after the surgery is your weight and not your habits or your food, then you're just going to put yourself in a position to where you're going to be contemplating another surgery. So to me, that wouldn't be a solution to the problem. And if you're trying to lose weight and you're going to the length of actually getting a surgery to lose weight, like you identified a problem and this is your solution to the problem, if you find yourself having to confront that problem again and then contemplate that same solution again, I would say that original kind of problem and that original solution, or the original solution that you chose, was wrong. And you definitely shouldn't choose it again if that's the case. But maybe, whatever. But what I'm saying is, if you are going to get the surgery, I would say sure. I mean, 100%, right? I get it, okay? I mean, we live in 2021. To stay away from surgeries and to stay away from these things, I mean, that would be kind of like a Luddite thing to kind of say, right? Like, we have the tools, we have the ability. I mean, people back in the day would get an infection and die, right? They didn't have the medical hygienics, right? They didn't clean things. They didn't really have a grasp on the human body or how to safely conduct surgery or anything like that. They kind of just lopped some things off, sewed it up, and then hoped for the best. Now we are on a cellular level with our body, and we are doing a bunch of different things to it. We're trying to extend our lives, we're trying to improve our lives, and we're trying to lose weight, and there's a lot of different things coming down the pipeline as far as pills and surgeries. So to push against that, I don't think that would be, that's a smart thing to do, to kind of go against innovation and the science of it, as long as, again, you have that mindset going into it, that this is just going to be something that's going to help push you forward, right? This is going to be something that's going to give you a little boost. So then when you're, when you're done recovering from the surgery, then you can implement the workout program, implement the diet program and all of that. And then you can just be on your way, right? So I don't see anything wrong with it if you have that added caveat. Now, also, it should be known that some people don't need the surgery, right? There's a bunch of different options here. You can take the surgery, and that's fine. I don't think anybody should shame people or anybody should look down on anybody who has gone through surgery to lose weight. I don't think anybody who does that, I'm not going to talk smack, but it just doesn't seem, it's not something that I would do. I wouldn't shame anybody. I wouldn't look down on anybody who decided to go in surgery or anything like that. So that's at least what I wouldn't do. And I would hope that more people would just be more accepting of it. And because I do get that there is a community that is completely against it. And looking from the outside, I would probably be a part of that community, right? But because I don't like shortcuts. I don't like boosters that are, interventions or anything like that from some outside source. I like the willpower. I like the struggle. I like the difficulty of it all. So I personally wouldn't choose that. But I'm also not in that position, so I'm not really sure what I would personally choose. All I know is that anybody who does choose it, I don't think anything negative about them because, I'm not in their shoes. I'm not in their position. I can definitely see how uh, getting a surgery is beneficial. So, but within this conversation, we also have to say that, look, quote unquote, you don't have to get a surgery, right? Again, there's everybody's different and there's some factors that I clearly don't know about and some people absolutely do need a surgery, right? But there's a lot of people that don't need a surgery who are in a similar position. People who need to lose 100 plus pounds and they did it, right? If you go through all the fit fighters of the week, most of the fit fighters of the week, for the past 20 weeks or so, most of those people have done it naturally. They've gone from 100 plus pounds and they've just implemented exercising, dieting, changing out their foods, doing all that, paying attention to it, and doing it for a year, 2 years. And then they found that they were actually able to lose weight. The reason for that is because the human body is insane. It is amazing. The human body adapts. The human body wants to be at a healthy weight. It doesn't like being at overweight or obese at all. And you can see it with the diseases that come with it. If you're overweight, obese, you have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, type 2 diabetes. You have chronic inflammation. Inflammation is off the charts. You increase your chance of stroke. It's not good. And a lot of that is contributed to just having a higher amount of fat content within your body, right? Now, when you start to work against that, when you start to try to burn fat, when you start to feed yourself a healthier food, our bodies begin to like it and they begin to change and they begin to reverse course on some things. So, again, within this conversation, you have to say, like, yes, you can get the surgery for sure, right? Or you could really put a goalpost a couple years down the road, and starting now, you can begin to just put all your effort into dieting and exercising. And more than likely, you're going to be at a healthy weight when you get to that goalpost in a couple years. If you stick with the plan, you stick with the diet, more than likely that's going to work. I mean, pretty much standard across the board. If you're in a caloric deficit, you're not eating an excessive amount of sugars or simple carbs, and you're exercising a relatively modest amount throughout the week, like weightlifting, running, or doing some sort of cardio, hopefully running, then you're more than likely going to be in a good position in a couple years. So that can work as well. Plus, I would say on that side, if you do it the quote unquote naturally way, you're going to get a lot of added benefits, a lot of added mental benefits. You're going to have a lot of tough times, and those tough times are going to help you understand yourself and how to push past tough times, which I think is invaluable, right? And if you don't have that somewhere else in your life, or if you're looking to have that difficulty in a more physical realm, losing weight is that realm. And you can really put yourself in an untouchable mental state by going through an entire weight loss challenge naturally, right? Okay, if you're doing the whole thing. But even on to that, I would say if you do get the surgery, guess what? You're still going to get those benefits as well on the back end. You're just going to cut out a certain amount of time from my perspective. You're just shortening up the time, and you're putting yourself in a better position to um, be able to do more workouts and to do the workouts more intensely. And when you go through that transition, because again, if you haven't been working out or dieting, and then you get the surgery, and then you're working out and dieting after, you still have to go through the growing pains of adapting yourself to a diet and adapting yourself to an exercise program. So you're still going to get those benefits. So that's where I see on when it comes to weight loss surgery, whatever, who cares, right? You want to get it, right? You want to do it naturally, that's great. If it makes you feel better about yourself because you did it naturally, that's awesome. You shouldn't shove it in anybody's face, right? That would show that you didn't really learn much throughout the whole process. But, I get both sides. And I don't think anybody should really be telling other people that something like a weight loss surgery is going to ruin them or I don't know. I try to stay away from those. I got to look into more what these people are saying, but I know it gets pretty vile from what I remember from the times I have looked into people talking about it, and it gets pretty, it just gets very weird. A lot of ego comes into it. And again, if I was putting myself back into that young, tight Marine Corps body, I would, again, more than likely be in that crowd, being like, no, you shouldn't begin the surgery. You should just have the willpower, and you should just be working out. And again, I'm still that guy too. I still think you should have willpower, which actually puts me into this next thing. So first off, surgeries, you cutting, slicing, shrinking some things. If it is shrinking the stomach, or I can't remember exactly what it was, that does seem a little bit risky. So I might not be fully on board on that. But again, I haven't looked into it enough, which is my downfall right now. But I'm going to put it in the hands of the doctors and surgeons that are doing it. More than likely, everything that they're doing is extremely safe, and they're doing it for a reason. So, I would put your trust in them, and more than likely, it's going to be straight, right? So if you want to get the surgery, if you're worrying about people, looking down on you or whatever, who cares about those? The people who would look down on somebody and treat somebody differently because they at one point got weight loss surgery and they're now fit and healthy. If somebody would look at that situation and be like, just kind of brush you aside, you shouldn't care about that person's opinion to begin with, right? So don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Now, there is one thing that I wanted to get into that kind of adds on to this. Let's see if I can find the website. This is just weird, right? It's this whole weird kind of wording, and I just want to go into this. I'm not saying anything crazy about this website or anything. Well, I don't think I'm going to say anything crazy. So please don't sue me, people. But it's just, it catches my attention when this is an ad. Like, I was searching whatever, losing weight or something, and this ad came up for a pill, a peptide that you take, where the catchphrase is designed for biology, not willpower. And I believe on here somewhere it says that you don't need willpower, which to me is again, that kind of puts people into this weird state to where it's like this easy thing to do. Like, you can just your car breaks down and you go to the mechanic, and the mechanic does all the work, and then you're just sitting in the waiting room playing Angry Birds or something like that. Old school reference, right? Is Angry Birds still around? They make movies about it. I can't believe they make movies about Angry Birds. But that's where I think, this is kind of an issue where they say, hey, you just take this peptide and you're going to be straight. You're going to be all good. It's going to do all the work. You don't need willpower. I think that, I'm sure that helps them sell what they're selling, right? I'm sure that it caught my attention. But I think if people go into it thinking that they don't really need to do anything other than take the pill, then I just think that that's usually not going to be the case. And it could just it could just waste your time if you try it, and it could possibly harm you because it's some sort of medication or some sort of pill. And you could just be in a worse off position or the same position you're in right now. So I think something like this you would have to be weary about. However, all right, I like looking at all sides of everything. However, I did look into this a little bit, and it looks like it's a peptide that went through some clinical trials, and it seems to work, right? But again, if they're selling it to you in this weird way, it's kind of weird. There was another point. What was hold on, I have sorry about the delay, the dead air. Yeah, no. Yeah, that was it. And then I just saw that you pay $130 a month to do this. First you have to do, I think, an assessment for $250. And then you pay $130 a month to keep it going. And so, again, they say a 1-year program for metabolic reset that helps you lose 10% of your body weight. So, and again, I believe they did the study with, within this, the other thing that's weird is that they tell you no willpower, but then they say, hey, no willpower, this pill is going to work, but you also have to exercise and diet with it. So that's where it gets a little weird. However, on the study that I saw, which only had 100-some people, right? This isn't a big study. There's only like 100-some people with this thing. And I believe they had 3 groups. And one group had nothing, right? Placebo group. And then one group possibly just took the pill. And then one group took the pill and exercised and dieted. I think the group that just took the pill lost like something like 8 or 9 pounds. And the group that took the pill and exercise lost like 13 pounds. So, if you take the pill and you exercise, it seems like you're going to lose a good amount of weight. So it does make sense that they added on that exercise program. But guess what? They're saying no willpower, but when it's 6 a.m. and you have to work out, what is that? Is a pill going to shove you into your workout? It's not going to. You need a little bit of willpower. So that's where this whole messaging gets a little weird. But yeah, so that's that. I was going to shit on this a little bit more than what I did, but then I got scared because now I'm thinking about what if this new company sues me for something crazy. How long have I been going? So, hold on. Now my computer's freezing. All right. Hey, this podcast is cruising along. That's all I wanted to talk about today, right? I'm going to show you the Fit Freak here in a second. Well, actually, we'll just get into it, and then I'll close it off. All right, this Fit Freak, look, this dude is an absolute freak. If you listen to this podcast, you know I love surfing. I'm not, anywhere near the level this guy is, but, I love surfing for many different reasons. Just the strength and stability that it takes, and also the mental strength and stability it takes to be very good at it is, to me, insane. And then just thinking about, these people have to combat all these different mental and physical barriers while also trying to be on like a 20-foot wave that's breaking on a couple feet of water. And when they fall, they get slammed down onto a reef and they get dragged along the reef. I mean, it's crazy. So, so I will always, as the Fit Freak segment continues, you will see surfers mixed in here. And this guy, Italo Ferreira, he is for sure a fit freak, especially more recently. He just won the Olympic gold at the Tokyo Olympics. Awesome. He also won the surfing contest. Surfing has it's the World Surfing League, and they go around to all these different stops throughout the entire year. And it's just like every other competition, sports competition. And he won it. He won the entire thing. They get medals or awards for every single stop, and they have, I don't know, like 10 or so plus stops on it. So he won a bunch of those little competitions, and then he won the overall points competition of it. I believe a couple years ago. I'm not sure how many times he's won it. I just know for sure at least once. He's at the top of the heap. There's like five, there's like five surfers that are like extremely good, and he is right at like battling it out with the 1 to 5 spot. It's kind of weird to say that he would be number 5. He's more, just by accomplishments, he's really at the number 1 spot, but the other guys are extremely good. Sorry, nerding out a little bit about the surf competition. But this guy, this guy's from Brazil, and as you can see on the screen, dude is ripped, right? Like he is fit. He is a freak, and hopefully I can get a video up right now. So here we go. So this is what this guy does, right? Just boom. I mean, to be able to get yourself and your board in the air like that, like it seems to have realized that he has to do a lot of exercising. He has to be in the gym. As you can see, he's messing around with some ropes in this. He's always doing some squats now. He's messing around with pull-ups. See him with the kettlebell. And he's really implemented surfing with training. And I think that's what makes him a fit freak now, because his strength is going up inside his training sessions, and that is translating into his surfing, because he is one of the guys who trains really hard, surfs really hard, and does things that other people cannot do. And I think that's attributed to him, just the way he is, and also because of his strength and everything he does in the gym. Because, he launches himself off a 15-foot wave, flies in the air, a few feet, 5 feet above that wave, and then drops down, somewhere around 15 feet. And he has to absorb that impact without snapping his leg or, slipping off or snapping any of his tendons. So for sure, fit freak. So go check him out if you don't know already. Italo Ferreira. He is a joy to watch surfing. But that's this week's episode. All right. I don't think I said anything controversial about surgeries. I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I think, again, right, to me, the whole, I think maybe for the most part, if you see anybody online really like going after overweight or obese people, I think it's just because they just want views. I don't know if they really believe it. I think they possibly just want views. But I know there's for sure people out there who think that. I've talked to plenty of them. And, it's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing that nobody who is deciding to go through surgery, there's no reason to even think about them or what they're thinking. It shouldn't be on your radar at all. They don't matter in the slightest. So, if you think that the surgery is going to be good for you and you plan to start up a new diet and exercise once you recover from the surgery, then who cares? Do the surgery. Doesn't matter. So, you don't need to hear that from me, but it's just something that I wanted to kind of talk about. Because, again, I see a lot of people kind of talking down on it. And it's just a weird thing. I think it's more of an ego thing with the person that's saying it. But yeah, that's this week's episode. yeah, episode 47. Appreciate everybody that came by today. I will be here next week and have a nice talk to you about some fun things. I think next week I want to talk about just some exercises people can do. So, all right, should I do a flex for the end of it? Huh? Because this is a fitness channel. Should I be wearing a stringer all the time? Is that what you guys want from me, guys and girls? Is that what you want from me? Since this is a fitness channel, should I always be having the guns showing? That's one thing I would, if anybody's listening, do please comment below. I am pushing against that so much. I do not want to fall into that trap of stringer tees and shaving down every part of your body and staring in a mirror all day and taking photos. I'm not that at all, and I don't want people to lose weight and become that. so yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like, does anybody watch this podcast or watch my videos and think this guy is never wearing some super tight clothes? Is he not a fitness person? I'm telling you right now, I'm a fitness person. I just don't do that stuff. But let me know if I should, so I can continue not to do it. All right, have a good one.